Hello everyone. Now we are going to see how simple operations can be done on NumPy. So first you have to import the NumPy module and give an alias name NP, and in this statement we have created an NP array called A, and 1 is added to all the elements in the array. A plus 1 is the statement where to each and every element of this array 1 will be added. So after adding 1 with this array, we have this element. And similarly, you can perform addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, or any arithmetic calculation. So first, a minus 3. So for each and every element, the element 3 will be subtracted. And in this case, 10 will be multiplied by all elements. And in this case, a power 2. So for all the elements, power will be calculated and the result will be displayed. And if we want to modify an existing array, a star equal to 2, that means a equal to a into 2. That means to each and every element of the array 2 will be multiplied and the result will be displayed. And if you want to find transpose of the array, you can simply do like this. This is a two-dimensional array. So where we have 3 rows and 3 columns, this is the original array, and for this transpose we have simple operation a dot t. T stands for transpose. So you will get the rows converted into columns and columns converted into rows. So 1, 2, 3 will be now your first column, and this 3, 4, 5 will be your second column, and similarly 9, 6, 0. See how simple it is. To find the transpose, we can just give array name dot t. And these are some other mathematical functions which we can simply implement. Min, if we want to find the minimum of all the elements in the given array, min function, max, multiply, polyfit, polynomial fit, random int, shuffle. Transpose is another equivalent function of this dot t. Likewise, we have many more operations which we can explore. And in this case, first we have created a list, and from the list we are creating an array. So L equal to a two-dimensional list is created and numpy dot array of L. So instead of giving the list elements here, we have already created a list variable and passed that variable as an argument to this array function. Now L will be converted into A and that will be printed. So see, it will be displayed like this. And just like other elements, we can perform indexing, slicing and all. So a of 0 means the first element of the array will be displayed. Actually, since it's a two-dimensional array, a of 0 refers to the entire first row. It means 1, 2, 3 will be displayed. And here a of 1, 2. That means in the first row, second element. So 0, 1, 2. 9 is stored in that position and 9 will be displayed. And slicing, a of 1, 1, 3. That means in the first row, from the index position 1, 2, 3, it has to be displayed. So this is the first row, and 0, this is 0th column. So first column to 3 means first column and second column. We will get the output as 6 and 9. And a of 1. First column has to be displayed in all the rows. First column, which is the first column? This is 0th column. This is first column. So 2, 6, 4. You have the output as 2, 6, 4. And a of 1, 2 equal to 7. That means in the first row, second column, the element will be 7. We can update the elements in the array. And similarly, a of 0. It means that in the all the rows, the 0th column has to be replaced with 0, 9 and 8. Let us see what is the output. So this is actually our original array, and in this array we are going to replace the 0th column. In all the rows, 0th column is this one. 1, 3, 2 is the 0th column, and on this place we are going to replace 0, 9 and 8. This statement actually generates 25 elements within the range 0 to 10 line space, which we have already seen, and numpy dot log space based on the logarithmic value and to the base e, the numbers from 0 to 10 will be displayed. So 10 values 1, 2, 3. So we have generated 10 values for the second output from the range 0 to 10, and for the first statement 25 values are generated. This statement actually creates a diagonal matrix with 1, 2 and 3 as the diagonal elements, and for the remaining positions 0 will be automatically inserted. This statement creates 1000 zeros. See, this 1000 will be created, 1000 zeros will be created, and print. If you want to display the data type of the element, you can give myint array dot dtype. Now you will have the data type as int 64. And similarly, we can generate the random elements like this, numpy.random.rand. Numpy.random.random is another function. Similarly, we can use this rand function also. So we can have the values in 3 by 3 format. If you want to reuse that array value that is being generated, we can use numpy.saveof. We can give the name for this py file, and the extension should be .npy and the array name. So now this will be saved in the name saved matrix.npy, and again if we want to load that, numpy.load of saved. Two ND arrays are mutable and may be used to the same memory. Let us see how the arrays can be copied to another array and how they are interpreted. We have created first an array in the name x and y equal to x. That means we have assigned the value of x to y, and later if we check whether x is y, that means we are going to check whether both x and y point to the same memory location. Yes, that means ID of x and y is same. We can check this. If we just give y equal to x, that means to the already existing location x, y will also be additionally pointing, and hence both ID of x and y is same. But if we are changing the value, so x of 0 equal to 9, and if you display y, the change will be reflected in y also, since both x and y point to the same memory location. This is another example where we are slicing the given array and storing it in another variable, x of 0 equal to 1. So in this x of 0, again we are storing the value 1, and z equal to x of colon. That means we are going to select all the elements from this x and store that result in a new variable z. And again if we check whether both are equal, now it will be false, because a copy of this sliced value will be taken and stored in separate memory z. We can create a copy of one array into another array, and we can save it in a new memory, x.copy. So this array will be created and a copy of this will be created and stored in y. And again if we check, the ID of both x and y is different, and hence we have this false. If we check the ID, it will be different. That means x and y are stored in different location if we are using copy function. And this program actually creates values from 1 to 4, and if we execute, so this will be the value of a, and this a into 23.4. So for all the elements in the array that is being created, so 4 means, so 1, 2, 3, 4 elements will be created, and the step size will be by default 1. That means 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the elements in the array, and to each element this 23.4 will be multiplied, and again c equal to b by a plus 1. A plus 1 means to all the elements of a, 1 will be added, and that will be divided with b, and you will get the result as c, and c is added with 10. And if you print the result, it will be like this. Likewise, you can perform any arithmetic calculation or evaluate any expression using this NumPy arrays. And this is another example where we are creating the values in the range 100 to 200 and select equal to 5, 25, 50, 75, minus 5. That means integer lists are specified as indices. These are the indices to which we are going to select the elements from this array. And if you are displaying this print array of select, the elements in the position a of 5, a of 25, a of 50, 75 and a of minus 5 will be displayed. Negative index always displays the fifth element from the last. So it will be 195. And this array equal to numpy dot a range of 10, 20. So from 10 to 20 an array is created, and we are going to select all the elements which are divisible by 3. So for this we are giving the condition like this: array mod 3 equal to 0. That means all the elements which are divisible by 3 from this array will be first generated, and you will have this true or false in this div by 3 output. This array will actually contain false, false, true, false, false. It means that first value will be 10 and which is not divisible by 3. So you have false. 11 is also not divisible, so false. And next we have 12. 12 is actually divisible by 3. That means 12 mod 3 equal to 0. So we have this true. Then 13, 14, 15. So 15 also we have true. And 16, 17 and for 18 also again we have this true. And for 19 it is false. So this array will be stored like this. And array of divisible by 3 means it will display the elements which are stored in this particular index position. That refers to the elements 12, 15 and 18. Only these 3 elements are divisible by 3 and hence we can display the output. This statement actually creates an array in the range 10, 20 and the generated element will be reshaped into 2 rows and 5 columns and that will be stored in the variable array. So let us see. So print array. The array that is being created looks like this. From 10 to 20 all the elements are generated and stored in this variable. Array.sum means all the elements in this array will be added. That means sum of elements in the array 145. And array.mean. So it takes the average of this value and it will display. And array.std, it refers to standard deviation of all the values in the given array. Next array.max. So in this array 19 is the maximum element and min function returns the least element. The 10 is the least element. So it will be displayed. And this actually displays. If we display the variable that we have already created div by 3, it contains this array and div by 3 dot all will return true if all the elements in this array are actually true. But if we give actually some of the elements are false, only 3 values are true and hence we will get false as the result. It checks whether all the elements are true. And div by 3 dot any will return true if any one of the values in this array is true. Actually in this array 3 values are true and remaining are false. So it returns true. And div by 3 dot sum, it will return the number of elements which has true in this array. So we have 3 elements and hence 3. And div by 3 dot non-zero, it returns the index position which contains the non-zero elements. In second index, fifth index and 8th index we have non-zero element, that means true. And hence the index position is displayed here. If we have an array, we can sort the array elements using this function array.sort. This sort function actually sort the elements in the given array and store the result back in the same array and hence all the elements are sorted and stored. We cannot store it in another variable using this sort function. And here another example. This array is being created and again actually we have display. The same thing but this array.sort is one syntax and numpy.sort of x. That means the array variable is given as argument to this function. This is the difference. Actually both works in the same way but only the way of calling this function is different. And print of x. So print of x will display the elements. Since we have given print of x in another statement, this will not be printed. The updated ascending order elements will not be printed. But if we have given this print statement in the same statement itself, it will be in sorted order. This argsort function actually returns the index position of the sorted elements in order 1.2. So this is the index position 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So the first element, least element in the sorted order is stored in this position 3. And the next least element is 1.8. So fourth index. And next element is stored in index position 1. So this 1 will be displayed. These index positions represent the index of the elements in sorted order. S will display the index position and if you give x of s, that will actually display the elements which are actually stored. In this example, we have first created a two-dimensional array and transpose of a given matrix can be done using this 1, 4, 3, 2. The matrix, original matrix is converted into transposed position and the output is being displayed. numpy dot I of 2. This I creates an identity matrix. That means in all the diagonal positions, the value 1 will be filled, and for the remaining positions, 0 will be filled. Since we have given 2, a 2 by 2 matrix will be created with the diagonal elements 1. And if we display, we get the output like this. Similarly, we can create an array, and the dot product, matrix dot product can also be created. So it creates the values like this 0, 1 and 0 minus 1, and in the second row we have 1 and 0. So the dot product of this will be this output. And median of all the elements in the given array can also be generated. So numpy dot array of the list of elements comma float. First, these elements will be converted into float and stored, and afterwards we can call this median function with reference to the numpy module. Numpy dot median of this array variable 3. Similarly, we can calculate the correlation coefficient value of the given array, and numpy dot covariance of A. So the covariance matrix of the given array A is created, and that will be displayed.